Here are 5 things that are perfectly legal at a traffic stop that you probably didn't know the police had the power to do. Number 1, they can force you to produce your license, your insurance, and state your name, your address, and the name and address of the registered owner of the vehicle. This is aside from all of the other rules in law that say that police can't just stop you for no reason and ask you to identify yourself. In a motor vehicle, they can ask you to do that. Number 2, they can ask you to get out of the vehicle. If the police ask you to exit the vehicle at a traffic stop, you're obligated to do so. There are some circumstances in which that request may not be lawful, but it's not for you to decide that at the roadside. If that request is unlawful and something flows from it, deal with it with a lawyer later. If you don't follow the officer's request to exit the vehicle, you will likely face an obstruction charge. Number 3, they have significant power to search your vehicle. In our legal system, the law states that you have a reduced expectation of privacy in a vehicle because you're participating in a highly regulated, dangerous activity. And so if the officer wants to search your vehicle, there are circumstances that allow them to do so that wouldn't apply in other situations. The most obvious one is if you have anything in plain sight through the windows of your vehicle that is not supposed to be there. For example, open liquor containers. Then the officer will have the ability to search your vehicle. Cannabis products that are not sealed in the appropriate Health Canada containers. Then the officer will have the right to search your vehicle. Other illegal things such as weapons or firearms, those will all give the officer grounds to search your vehicle without a warrant, without having to ask your permission. They can also order you to turn off your engine and even potentially to hang up the phone or turn your radio or your music or your iPod or whatever off. And the reason for this is what's known as officer safety. Because again, motor vehicles are quite dangerous, the police have a little bit more discretion to get you to comply with certain orders for their safety. So if the officer has a reason to believe you might flee, you might drive away, or there's an inkling that you're, maybe a little bit nervous, they can ask you to turn off the engine and place the keys on the dash or provide the keys to the officer until the traffic stop is ended. If you're on the phone, this can also pose an officer safety risk because you may be on the phone with somebody you're calling to come and cause harm to the officer. So they do have the power to do that. There are all sorts of exceptions to the ordinary rules that officers have to comply with in Canadian law for your ability to protect your rights if you're in a moving vehicle on an actual roadway in the province. And if you think that you're just traveling or that you are not in a contract with the government, let me tell you that will probably end up with you ending up arrested for obstruction if you try and use that kind of nonsense with the police.